everyone and welcome to a new episode of Inside AMG, where today we are going to learn everything about aerodynamics. Lay back and enjoy an action-packed episode. Best way to do so is to watch it on your TV or rotate your phone. Let's meet our expert. Hey Gustavo.
Hi Cornelius.
Thanks for having me. That's a huge place. Where are we today? Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Gustavo and we are here in the wind tunnel by Mercedes-Benz in Sindelfingen. I'm technical lead by AMG.
Okay.
In the aerodynamic department. I have a lot of fun developing such cars.
And today we have the all-new Mercedes-AMG GT with us to show some stuff here in the wind tunnel, right?
Yeah, we prepared this car and we prepared some other stuff here so that you have a lot of fun.
Okay.
And so I would suggest to get into the control room so that we can get started.
All right, let's go. All right, Gustavo, so now we're in the control room of the wind tunnel. I think I've got a basic understanding of aerodynamics, but obviously you can tell me a lot more. Why don't we start with the basics and why don't you tell us about the philosophy of AMG?
So it's well known that forms follow functions, so everybody talks about that. So what we achieve by AMG is that we have forms follows performance.
All right.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
So for us, the shape of the vehicle is very important.
Mm-hmm. So what would be the perfect shape in your point of view?
Yeah, it's not my point of view. I think it's nature. So if you see a dolphin, it had a very good shape. For example, the water drop.
Okay.
So that's the shape that you want to achieve. You know the shape of a drop. And if you start combining shapes, so you will see where
another drop.
Yeah, you have another drop, and if I start combining the shapes, so what at the end of the day, what you see is something.
All right. Yeah.
I think you are.
I can see where we're going.
You understand, and okay. So of course we need
wheels.
The wheels. So they produce 1/4 of the drag penalty of the vehicle.
3/4 and 1/4 is only the wheels.
Yeah, right.
That's incredible.
Yeah, especially when you have 21 inches.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, and here start working with splitter and all the stuff. So at the end of the day, what you have is such a shape. And
all right.
That's a very difficult task. Because in the aerodynamics we need to manage the flow all around the car and through the car. We always say 1 meter before the car and we end up 3-6 meters behind the car so that we can get the air where it needs to go with the distribution of the air.
Okay.
And not only the shape but also the inner compartment, so the engine compartment, brakes, hot spots. That means
to cool them down,
to cool them down. So the electronic devices, the turbo, for example, it gets really hot. So we need to manage all that air, and at the end, all the flow meets on the rear part of the car, on the wake of the car. We need to control that to make a very stable car. We are always working of maximum aerodynamic efficiency. That means the ratio that you have between lift and drag. Okay. Lift is how the car reacts. Yeah.
If there's a lot of air, it's maybe pulled up right from the street. And that's lift, and drag is drag. What is drag? It's like
drag is the resistance. The resistance you need to drive by driving through the air, and the lift is the vertical load that you have on the car. And when this load is not vertical up, but it's vertical down, let's say like this, you're talking about downforce. Yes. Okay. And we need to manage the balance of the car. And back to the question is, this shape had some characteristics, and what this shape produces is lift on the rear axle. Okay. Every single drop car, so a coupe that in the world, they produce lift on the rear axle, and we need to correct that, modify that with a spoiler, with active aerodynamics at the rear, so that the lift that we produce here, always the forces, they react perpendicular to the surface. Okay. And so as you see here, we will have a force vertical.
Okay, that goes up. So that is basically what a wing of an airplane does as well, right? That's why an airplane goes into the. That's lifting.
It's lifting. Yeah. And that's why we need to put what? wing, but in the other direction,
okay,
so that we produce
downforce again.
The downforce on the rear axle, because when you press the car, the rear axle, you have a stable car. So I would say let's go outside and let's talk about some aerodynamic features of the vehicle.
All right, let's go.
So, we can start at the front.
Yeah, as you said,
yes.
The aerodynamics is starting in front of the car, right?
Yeah, we start around more or less here because we need to split the air to the up underneath the car to the underbody here on the side. You see the whole shape is optimized so that we have the less air resistance and maximal mass flow on the coolers.
Okay.
The mass flow in the cooler, we managed to control it through the active air shutters that we hide behind this design fascia. And we work in this efficiency way with the cooling on demand. Do you need air? You have the air. You don't need air, I need it again.
Okay.
So if some part of the vehicle, some part of the engine compartments and electrical components or the turbo or whatever, something is hot and requires the air, we open the shutters, you get the air, and we have many positions that we can rotate the shutters. And in that way we can control the drag, because we can reduce even more, around 10% of the drag, the whole drag of the car. We can reduce it by closing it. Okay. And also we can control the lifts. The frontal lift, we can manage that.
All right.
And regarding controlling the lift, we work on the underbody panel. This is an active front diffuser. When we deploy it, we reduce drag. We reduce the frontal lift by 60 kilos.
All right.
The reduction of drag was about 7% of drag reduction. And on top, we increase cooling because you open up a cooler that is placed underneath.
Okay.
You improve the flow through the air. We canalize the flow to the braking system, and you adjust the flow to the rear. So it's a whole stuff that works on the front, so we control the front without losing rear. So in aerodynamics, we always work with this movement, that means the balance of the car. We always say, okay, in this case, we reduce the frontal lift, but without losing rear. That means we don't need to compensate with something on the rear when we reduce the frontal lift.
Already.
We can open and close the shutters and deploy the front diffuser, and the rear stays stable.
All right.
And that's something difficult to be achieved.
Okay.
And as we talk about the frontal features, active features, in this vehicle we have an aero package, so that we reduce furthermore around 20 kilos. Always talk about Vmax.
Vmax means top speed, right?
Top speed, yeah. Reduce even 20 more kilos with the extra add-on parts.
Okay.
But we need to jump to the rear.
Now, I've seen the massive spoiler there already.
It's not massive. It's not a spoiler. I must correct you.
Two things wrong.
There are two things wrong, two in one.
All right.
So
what do we have
is
here?
the right amount, or is the right proportion of a wing that we have on the rear? It's not a spoiler, it's a wing.
Okay.
So that we can achieve the downforce that we need. Not more than that we need. We always need to see what the drag penalty, because of Vmax, because of acceleration, and because of the balance of the vehicle. That is the shape that we came out. You see it's even rotated on the side, because the flow comes from the center line different that come from this drop shape of the greenhouse. Yes.
And you can see the wing. That's
the wing.
The spoiler is something that is fixed, attached to the car, and the air can't go beneath it, right?
Yeah, no, the spoiler works with only one surface.
One surface.
Presses, and in this case, you don't need to be in that high angle. You can go lower angle, and you have this shape. You see?
Okay, so you have got the wing.
You have a reverse wing.
All right.
So that you produce the amount of downforce that you need by increasing the speed underneath. So here you have a sucking. You are really pushing down.
So the shape is different. Yeah.
Yes, and it's working together with the shape of the lid of the.
Okay, the lid also here has another shape.
Yeah, with the two shapes they work together. This wouldn't work without this one. Wouldn't be as efficient, and also this concave surface that produces the pressure here on this part of this wing. And that's the way it works, and that's how we are able to put a fixed wing because the modifications at the front, they don't produce us that we lift the car.
Okay.
We always drive with maximum downforce with this vehicle.
What has changed?
I did change everything. That is the wing of our Black Series predecessor. What would you think it happened when we mount something like this in this car?